Yo, 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 this your boy JB Levi, bring you another video. And today's topic, as you see the title says, is about happiness and how it's misdefined in so many ways. But I'm here to bring a little bit of clarity because your boy is happy, man. I ain't never been so happy in my life. But it's principles behind happiness, and I think people misinterpret those principles, and a lot of that comes from temporary satisfaction. And it takes temporary satisfaction and validate it as happiness. But satisfaction can run out, whereas happiness is derived from something that's internal and something that's pure. So I'm going to talk about 5 or 6 things that are not happiness so we can start deciphering what happiness is not. So on the first one, happiness is not how much money or material possessions you have. Everybody should know that by now, but it seems that, with everything with entertainment and the television and how celebrities appear on TV or appear at award shows and how they talk, it seems as if they're just happy all the time, or they're just happy with their life. And you find that that's not necessarily true. Even Lil Wayne came out and was like he was dealing with a lot of mental depression, uh, mental health issues. And he said it stemmed all the way from his youth, and he carried that weight all the way into his success. So that goes to show you money and material things, and even down to success, does not validate your happiness. I think at a point now he was able to let that off his chest and release that and allow people to understand him a little better. So now he feel more happy, so to speak, about where he is in his life. So I think that's says a lot about money and material possessions providing a sense of happiness. Sometimes you're just satisfied. It's just a cover up for what's really going on internally. And so that's why I say satisfaction and happiness is not really the same thing, even though they can be interpreted as the same thing. And the next one, happiness is not about how many people like you. I find that it's so many people just want to be liked. Instagram, Facebook, all across the social media board, but definitely Instagram. It's all about that instant gratification of when I post this picture, how many people gonna like it? If I don't post this picture, how many people not gonna like it or not gonna hit the like button? And it's so much geared towards people liking you, even down to what people say on TV or say in front of a crowd. Like Lil Baby, when he said the thing about certain gender people, it's like you got to do all of these things to be liked by everybody, and you can you can sabotage or sacrifice what is really you to please people. But that gonna really make you happy? 9 times out of 10, no, because you holding back a piece of you that you want to release. And sometimes that can cause this disdain or this dislike with self just to please people. And it's not going to provide happiness. It might provide some sense of satisfaction because you're doing it and you know you're going to keep your money, or you're going to keep your stream of income because you're not touching the touchy subjects, or people might reject you, or you might lose a following. I know this one guy on Instagram. He said the moment he posts his wife on his Instagram, immediately his followers went down at least 30,000 K. I said, well, 30K. That is amazing. Like, not even amazing. It's just crazy how, like, people would actually dislike you for expressing who you are. So you can't be a people pleaser. It's just not the way for happiness to really evolve. You can be happy with 1,000 people liking you versus being unhappy with 1 million people following you, or liking you. So happiness is not in being a people pleaser or wanting people to like you. It will put you in a cage where you can only be who people expect you to be. And that's why I don't practice that even now. Because if I practice freedom and within my own character now, as I grow, I'm gonna only attract people who actually genuinely like me versus people who only like a thing about me, a certain thing about me, and only want me to stay in that bracket. So you have to break free of that. Point number three, happiness is not individual accolades. That kind of piggybacks on the last statement, but it's not individual accolades. It's not what I can do for myself or what I can do by myself. Because you'll find that if you just focus on yourself and what you can do, you're going to become very isolated and lonely because you are only feeding you. You're not feeding other people. People can't congratulate you. People can't appreciate you in the right way. And even if they do, they are appreciating your idolatry, your ego. They are just stimulating your ego and pushing you more into I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm this, I'm that. And you see so many, especially some rappers, they die from that. They die from thinking they the man all the time or they doing everything themselves. You can't be happy thinking that it's all on you because too much pressure will be riding on you to be the man that is the man. And you would rather be where people support you and got your back, and then you can actually share the success with other people, and that will really bring happiness. But when you trying to go at it about yourself, you fighting too much stuff, and then when something do happen to you, it ain't nobody really in your corner. They kind of just, oh, when it happened to you, they out the back door. I seen a post earlier today said, every 10 friends, only two of them really supporting you. And that's so true. Like, and even then is less than that sometimes. But you have to accumulate those real friends. Don't be looking for a bunch of friends. All of these statements kind of piggyback on each other because it's trying to, happiness is trying to really attach itself to you, but you're not seeing what it is. You getting this instant gratification or what I would call satisfaction, and it's not rolling over into happiness because it's ill-gotten happiness. So you got to avoid fake friends and certain things like that. So another thing, fourth topic, happiness is not about control or power. It's not about control or power, people. It's not about being able to tell somebody what to do or bossing them around. People will appreciate more when you lead them instead of bossing them around. And so a lot of people, they wonder why they're not happy. Is because they have this tension between the people who they are over and the people who are like trying to, admonish or admire them. They so in control or so dictatorial that they don't never really give the relationship an honest like commitment. Like, I'm gonna give to you just as much as you give to me, or I'm gonna give to you more than you give to me, cause I got more. I can afford to give more of my energy away, and that's really how it should be. It should be more of a giving thing, more so than I gotta receive. You gotta do what I say. You gotta give me what I want, or you don't get nothing. It's so narcissistic at a point that like it kind of derives your purity in relationships. So you end up only getting people who listen to you for your power. In the moment your power is gone, they no longer are there for you. As soon as you look bad, they on the back end trying to help push the fact that you are a bad person, or they never really did like you. And you saw this with like people like Trump. He had people in his circle that soon as he was beginning to fall, they wasn't even there to catch him. They weren't there to support him. They wanted him to fall the whole time. They just didn't have enough power to exercise that authority to help support his fall. But you'll find fake friends all the time who will support your downfall, and they act and smile in your face and act like they care about you. So being in power and control will not really bring you happiness, because if it's manipulated, if it's used illy against people, then yeah, it's not going to translate to happiness. But when you do it the right way, then it can bring a lot more uh peace within the circle. It could bring more empowerment to the circle. It could bring let everybody to level up. And so that is a very big point when it comes to happiness that people miss. They don't think that they being narcissistic, or they don't think that they are narcissistic, so they end up relishing in their power, only to find out people really didn't ever care about them in the first place. And then they realize, hey, what that instant gratification of having the power is turned into a bitterness and a sadness, because it wasn't real true happiness. Because if you had true happiness, it wouldn't matter who turned on you, because you already knew you were doing the right thing to get there. So the last and final statement, which is not a big one, but I thought I would include this one because of what people attach happiness to. And happiness is not about where you are or where you plan to go. And this is for people who have not yet got to that place of success. It's like, it's not about where you are. Like, and people who have gotten to that success, let me add that. Because some people believe that if you are at the top, or if you are in a certain location like Hollywood, or you and taking trips and stuff, that defines your happiness. That does not define your happiness. Because the moment you not able to take that trip, or the moment you see somebody else taking a trip that you can't go on, or the moment you feel stuck in where you at, something you gonna have develop a sense of jealousy or some envy, and it's gonna correlate to dissatisfaction. And that instant gratification of being in a place or being in a location is not really backed by happiness. It's backed by instant gratification or satisfaction. Me, I'm gonna use me for example. When I went on a trip to on a cruise, I wasn't I wasn't like trying to flaunt in nobody's face about going on a cruise. It was never like a thing to just say, "Oh, look where I'm at, huh? Look at me. I'm doing trips. I'm making plans and blah blah blah." No, I was just happy to be on a trip like that. I didn't even plan the trip. Somebody else planned the trip. I was happy to go. I was happy to just do something new. My happiness was in my gratitude for the circumstances that I was in. It was not about, oh, I doing this and I'm doing that and you not. It's not gonna bring you happiness to stun on people, to outshine people. It's not gonna bring happiness. It's not. Because the moment you're not doing that, the moment you don't have that instant gratification, that instant satisfaction, you are gonna feel some type of way. And it's not, that's the reason you feel some type of way, is because you weren't happy in the first place. You were just using that as a way to be satisfied, or to show some sense of pride or some ego, and those things do not bring you satisfaction I mean, it does not bring you happiness at the end of the day. When you go to sleep, you still feel like, I gotta pump this lifestyle so I can be satisfied, really, but you call it happiness. It's a delusion. And the people who got plans to go somewhere, or you can't view it as, if I could just get here or I could just get there, I'll be happy. It's not, it don't work like that. The people who really are happy when they get to a certain level are people who grind it and work hard to get there. And it brings like this gratification that is not instant. It's more like, whoo, I worked so hard to get this. I finally can seize the moment. And it's like surreal at a certain point where it's like you worked your butt off to get here. And so the last point I would like to make is that I've seen some homeless people be happy. They are happy. Why are you homeless and happy at all? It ate my mind up to understand that. But I understand it so much better now. And they're just grateful for certain simple things like clothes and shoes and shelter. And they began to be grateful, and which pushes the notion to be happy. And it's like they're not happy like in a sense where we are happy as in these material things, but like I just said, material things don't really bring happiness. But they are happy because they see themselves as having a chance to be worse off than what they are. And I don't even know how you can think like that. But if a homeless, poor person can think like that, then I have no excuse not to be grateful about where I'm at. So I hope these 5 things about happiness have did something to your mind to create a switch so you can get to the place where you are developing true happiness from within and stop looking external for your happiness. And I think that's the key to it. People look on the outside for their happiness instead of trying to derive it from the inside. And so that's my keys. If I'm going to be dropping tutorials, not tutorials, courses on these things and about how we can better ourselves. And we're going to talk about how 5 things you can do to be happy, to start developing your happiness and start to get this sense of peace and not instant gratification, but gratitude for just life in general. So y'all be blessed. See you next time.